What we had in this space was just a big old empty training room. And we had the option of creating another big old empty training room, or we could use the space for something more towards the 21st century. And we know that most of our districts don't have the abilities to create spaces like this. So what we did is we thought we'd create the space, and what we'd do is, rather than us trying to figure out what should be in there, we would actually go to the designers of school systems. So we worked with our facilities group, and we basically said, help us understand how you set up like a brand new classroom. So they brought in their classroom designers, they brought in their classroom technology folks, and they actually gave us some proposals. And the deal was, we're not going to buy stuff from you, we're not going to ask you to give us the stuff. We're just asking you to put your stuff in this space and you refresh it and you keep it current. That way it's always the latest, greatest stuff for the teachers. And what we're going to do is, when we create this space, we're going to invite the instructional technology folks from across the state to come in and own the space. We want them to view this as their space. So the little school districts that couldn't create this space, or even the big school districts that may not have access to all this different stuff, we thought they could come in, they could own the space. And what you're looking at today is the offshoot of that. We had some instructional technology folks here from Clark County, and they thought the space was great, and they thought they'd bring in some of their students and see how it worked, and we're grateful that they're willing to come in and do that with us. So there's a bunch of fourth graders running around out there in our new space, using the technology, using the modular classroom design, and what we're hoping is that we should get some great feedback.
We got involved with coming to this classroom because our school district superintendent, instructional services department, and other folks came here for a visit a few months ago, and while they were here, they called us on the phone and said, we need schools to come here and have some children come use the room to see what it would really be like with kids in the classroom. And so we were really excited and said yes right away, and got a group together and designed a lesson and came over here. We're also going to be a model technology school in Athens, in Clark County, and so we thought this would give us a good idea of just what kind of classrooms we want. We're building a brand new school, and so we have the opportunity to design brand new classrooms, real flexible furniture, new technology, and so we thought this would give us some good ideas about what we would like in our school. So it kind of serves two purposes: to get kids here to see how this room works, and to help us design our own school.
I liked the little spacing, like the spacing out area, so you could have privacy when you're working with your group, so you can work at one group while the other person works at the other, so you don't get distracted by the other people.
I like the flexibility of the space because a big idea in 21st century learning is kids having more control of their learning and being able to group themselves in different ways and find spaces that work for the needs that they have. And in a traditional classroom, most often the furniture is in a very fixed position and doesn't offer the flexibility that this space does for multiple kinds of groupings.
Did like how there's a campfire area where everyone could meet together and see the same thing, because in our classroom not everyone can see as well as some other people.
The technology is an important piece. It's not the essential piece. It's kind of all of these pieces working together: the flexibility of the room, and then the accessibility of the technology. For example, we have in this space, students can go and do a Skype session with an expert, and that is not distracting from the other students who are working, drawing things on a whiteboard or writing things with paper and pencil. So the technology enhances the kinds of learning that's taking place within the classroom, but it's not just the technology by itself that makes this successful.
They are incorporating multiple standards, Georgia performance standards. They started with the social studies unit on economics, and then also incorporated writing standards from persuasive writing and art standards, which is something that we do often, trying to combine, integrate those different standards together. So the students are designing a t-shirt for our school that we're going to temporarily for a year while our new school is being built, and so they are using some visual standards. They're thinking about wants and needs, and pricing and marketing, and then they have to use some persuasive writing and persuasive techniques because they're going to design a video to persuade me and other classes to choose which shirt that they design. So it's a real project that goes with the standards that they're doing. It's an actual need that we have, and so that's what the kids are working on.
Awesome. Keep on it.
All right, put the top on so it doesn't dry out. Design elements. So that's kind of hidden with our image. But Kasia, can you write design?
Yeah.
It's okay, leave it. It comes off. That's the whole point of the table, is that it kind of comes off like that. So that's why we can write on it.
What we found was teachers actually creating these types of spaces to differentiate their classroom environment, that they had to work with what they had. So you saw teachers pulling desks apart and just kind of putting them off in corners. Well, obviously there's a better way to do that. So as we refurbish classrooms or build new classrooms, having this as a model for not only the teachers to see, the instructional technology people to see, but also the facility people. So we've had as many facility people in here as we've had teachers, because that shows them, here's how you could, same amount of money, but a whole different kind of operation. And so that's what you're looking at here, the normal size classroom, but it's set up completely differently. Not with more expensive stuff, just with different stuff.
I like that one actually, I think that's pretty cool. I'd wear that t-shirt.
Do you think we should have front and back with this on the front and this on the back?
I like that idea, yeah, I think that's cool.
So would you like to have a classroom like this?
Yes. If we could.